Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. That's the stuff right there.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running.
Everybody. Wednesday morning, feeling a whole lot better. Worked yesterday and worked all day. I mean, I tattooed like pretty much the majority of the day, which was good. The old bank account, you know, it was definitely needing that. So, getting ready to go to work again. You know, the whole life cycle. Get up, go to work, pay bills, get up, go to work, pay bills. Yeah, it never ends. But anyway, what the hell can we discuss today? Because we know I didn't really do crap this weekend. And it makes me sad because I'm still only listening to the speakers in the headliner and this thing. And it's been like that for months. But anyway, I don't know. You know, I put out that little shitty video, just put content out basically. So yeah, we need something to discuss today, and I have no clue. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, other than that, I don't even know what the hell is going on. that cold or flu or whatever the hell I had, it had me down. It's like we could talk about Parker the Basshead. You know, he got his 100,000 subscribers and his YouTube play button. Goals. That's my goals too. But and then Big Jeff, I mean, he did it in like 3 weeks. He went from like 6,000 subscribers to 1 million in 3 weeks. Yeah. Well, we're not even going to talk about that one. We're not going to go there. But congrats, Parker. If you see the congrats. Sometimes he watches my shit. Sometimes he don't. But that was awesome. To see somebody actually, you know, do it and put in the work to do it. Not saying Big Jeff didn't, because he had to spend that money. We did get the alternator sent in. I actually did that Monday after I got it out. I mean, I wasn't feeling the best, but I went ahead and got it boxed up and took it to the post office, shipped it out. So yeah, and we can talk about alternators because there's some factors there. When choosing an alternator, there's a couple things to look at. One, try to find the best alternator for your application that you're going to be doing. In my case, it's demoing. So yeah, there's companies making 4 and 450 amp alternators, but what do them alternators do at idle or slightly above idle? You know, in the Jeep, I have a cable rigged up where I can like pull it and lock it and rev it at like 2,000 RPM, which I need to put one of them in the Blazer too. But what that does is it gets me max charging at that RPM. But a lot of times a little 270 or 320, 340, something like that, will put out more at idle or slightly above than like a 450. So a lot of times people ask me what's the best alternator to run, and the advice I try to give is talk to the alternator company that you're choosing and ask them what's going to put out the most at idle for your application. Because if you're demoing, then you don't want to be sitting here revving real high, or you know, a lot of times they don't even put out what they're supposed to until you're at driving speed or driving RPM anyway. But that's kind of why I have the cable on there. But man, with brands of alternators, it's getting tough, guys. You know, I had a $500+ alternator fell on me, and I've got like a alternator that was right under $400. It's been going for like 2.5, 3 years now. That's still like rock solid. So it's really hard to determine what to run and brand wise. You know, I met the guys from JS Alternator at the Sundown show and talked to them. They were really cool. And when I found out they were right here in South Carolina, I kind of like been talking to them, and I like to say they're right in the middle, you know, price wise, they're not way up here. They're kind of in the middle. And the feedback I've been seeing from people, a lot of guys like, I've been running JS for X amount of time, rock solid. That's good to hear. Another big benefit is, that would benefit me drastically, is they are right here in South Carolina. So on a worst case scenario, if I'm on a time crunch for a show, they're like 2 hours from me. I could literally throw the alternator in the car, drive up there, and see if they could repair it like pretty quickly, and I could drive home with it. Worst case scenario. So that's another big benefit for me, you know. Now it's like I'm at, you know, someone else's, I'm on their schedule. I sent it in. Lord knows when he should get it today. It's supposed to be delivered today. I don't know how busy this man is. You know, it could sit there all of this week, all of next week before he even opens the box and figures out what's wrong with it. So, I mean, Mike Singer has a really good reputation on his alternators also. So, and am I going to blame him? It failed within a year? No. Shit happens, guys. Things happen all the time. I've seen people open high dollar brand new amplifiers out of the box and they be bad. With alternators, it's really a shot in the dark. You know, nothing really lasts like a stock alternator. Damn, they're noisy over there. Stock alternators are made, you know, they're kind of overbuilt for what they put out. It's like, you know, most of them put out anywhere between 90 and 160, sometimes 200 amps. So they're really made just to be rock solid and built well with cooling and everything to handle that. When you get into the high amp alternators, you're taking that stock size casing and you're putting all this extra stuff in there that's bigger and beefier that don't cool as well, and shit just happens. So a lot of times you just can't blame the alternator company. One thing that I will say about Singer and JS both is, and Autotech, is anytime you have a problem with them companies, they don't tell you you're an idiot. You know, they actually give you real customer service. I've dealt with companies out there. I'm not going to say what brand it is, you know, with the X, but they will tell you you're an idiot if you have a problem with any of their products. And it ain't just me that's had it happen. There's hundreds of comments out there that this dude, he don't want to stand behind nothing. He'll tell you you're an idiot all day if you have a problem. So it is what it is, guys. When it comes to choosing an alternator, there's things to think about. And I'll tell most people off the rip, like my buddy Dustin and his Trailblazer. It's a newer Trailblazer that the alternators are PWM controlled. So that created a whole nother problem. Can't use diodes because it's PWM controlled. We bought the little box from Amazon to put in the dash, but it won't charge any higher than like $15.5, I think. And situations like that, you're better off going externally regulated. And externally regulated alternators, there's big benefits to them. When you're using diodes, or like the PWM control or whatever, or them little knobs that take place of diodes that hook to the sense wire, you'll have that thing set, and then you go out in the morning and you start the car, and you might be charging a 0.5 volt higher than what you set it at. And then when the alternator warms up, the voltage will drop down to about where you set it at. Sometimes it'll even fall lower if the alternator gets good and hot. It is what it is, guys. It's a cheap way of doing things, and it works. When you actually go externally regulated and you use something like the Blue Box, the Fat Boy, or I do like the Brand X voltage regulator, you know, that thing, it does work. But when you're using something like that, it don't matter if you set it like 16 volt, you're going to get 16 volt. In the morning, it'll shut off when it gets to 16 volt. And when your voltage starts dropping, it's going to kick the alternators in. It's going to charge around. It'll stay there. And yeah, when you're at a show and you're demoing nonstop forever, you know, the alternators will warm up, and it's going to take them a while to get your battery top back off. But you have really consistent voltage with externally regulated, and that's why I prefer it. Dump truck. But yeah, that's why I really prefer the externally regulated. And if you're going to do a bigger system and you're going to run more than one alternator, I definitely recommend it. And in a lot of cases, if you have a mild system and you're running one alternator, I would still highly recommend it. There's just a lot of benefits. Like in here, in this black Jeep, I have one alternator, and I'm still running a Fat Boy regulator to keep me right at 16. And I chose that over doing the diodes just because of the consistency. So these are all things to consider. Yes, it does cost more off the rip, but long term, you're better off. So anyway, I will end this right here, talking about the old alternators. Jangalang's still sitting in the backyard, missing an alternator, a battery delete box, and all that stuff. And like I said in the video, it's such a bitch to get an alternator out of there. I wasn't going to put one in that I got to take right back out when I get the high output alternator back. So Jangalang is sit there, and I do miss driving it. But hopefully this weekend we do some work on this Jeep. I'm dreading pulling the door panels off to get the pods on, but I really need to do it. So it is what it is, guys. I don't know if it's just me getting older, the cold had me down, but I'm feeling pretty damn lazy. So anyway, y'all drink your coffee, enjoy your morning, y'all be safe. Like the video, if nothing else, comment. I don't give a shit. Use my Down for Sound affiliate link though. And yeah, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe. Check out my other videos. You might like some of my content. And now my goal is, we hit 13,000, so let's try to go for 20 before we hit that 100. Peace out, guys, and as always, bass on.